If you didn't see the first live stream, there was some incredible features that have been added to Platform X, and we're going to run through those again, and also some of the changes that have happened in between round 1 and round 2. We will then go on to a little bit of a chat between me and Bruno so that you can get to know him a bit more, and I'll introduce you to some of the works that he's done over the last few months that you might have an opinion of, or you might have experienced personally whilst you're playing. And then we will give you the opportunity to actually ask Bruno questions directly. So, with all that said, I suggest that we get into the first topic, which is going through the wonderful Platform X Titans of Economy. If you haven't played Titans of Economy, or you have no idea what Platform X is, it is essentially a new concept realm, so where we kind of throw in new features and change the way the game should be played. And from those changes, if the community likes them, or if the community really kind of takes to them and they blend well and they work out as we plan, they have the potential to join Classic Worlds. You won't see at the moment on any of our Classic or any other scenarios. It's just Platform X Titans of Economy. For the first one is every association in Platform X Titans of Economy starts off with 25 association slots, so you can play with your friends from the start instead of having to invest and open up those slots. So this particular feature has been one of the better features that I've experienced. You're the one that actually designed this. What was the concept that you came up with and why you did this?
The main reason was because we used this on an event game world, so Platform X is an event game world and you cannot pre-register there. So all the players have to find their normal association members, and this is made a lot easier if you start with 25 right away.
And what about the 4 headquarter levels that you can unlock?
Headquarter levels, normally you have 15 for the 25 members, but this time they only are important to level for the workers. So we still have headquarter levels, and you can have up to 4 workers. Normally you can just have 3, but this time you can have up to 4 workers, but the upgrade costs are quite expensive. But I think in the end, if you have a good association, it pays off.
All the trains are now faster because of the tile length is being slightly reduced. So
has half the length, so the train needs half the time for one tile, so optically it just looks faster.
I've heard from one of people talking, it makes it kind of more beneficial for you in the later stages when you're doing long haul stuff.
Yes, you can now look for other industries of the same type with a greater distance, and this will maybe be better, or more often be better than just hauling from the nearest industry. It looks much more dynamic and the trains are faster, especially at the beginning of the game.
The next feature that we have, some of the bonuses for some of the workers. For example, the auctions have changed as well.
So the auctions, this was also changed because we now have up to 4 worker slots, and I know that the players like the workers, so I wanted to give them a little bit more workers, so also the smaller associations can win them more often. And for the changes of the workers, I think the most obvious are the workers for the goods or passengers. So the effect was doubled for them, or even more. So it was 20% for the goods. So if you had 2 goods, and now it's 50. And for the passengers, just 1 good, it's now 100%. So you get twice as much money if you have the worker. And this really makes a difference now. And 5 other workers were also changed, or they were all the effects were all increased.
Some of the auctions are going to be really competitive now, surely.
Yes, we chose the workers that normally aren't that attractive, and increased the bonuses for these ones, so that now all auctions are more competitive.
So I mentioned a minute ago that the worker auction had been increased. Previously and ordinarily it's every 60 minutes on a classical service, is that right?
No, it's
every 120 minutes
right.
on the classic server. But now it's been essentially halved. So now every 60 minutes you will have a new worker available to be bid on, correct? Another feature on here was the amount that you can win, how much prestige you can now win because of not just winning but your connections. You can actually end up with 50k worth.
Now it's still 5,000 for connected, but we wanted to have the home city win, because this is one of the greatest achievements in Real Nation, and this is now 45 instead of 5,000 prestige. In the end, if it's quite close in the single ranking, if your home city wins the end game, this might be the decider. Yeah.
This feature has been increases to both the licenses bonuses. It used to be 10%, it's now 20%, and also there's the increase of the max workload for industry. It used to be, like 300%, and now it's 500%, right?
Right.
This is probably one of the most important features to work alongside, for example, the increased speed for the trains.
Yeah, especially in the end game. So in the normal game, it's not very often that you reach the 300%, but I saw in the later eras, if a new good arrived, so many cities or the good cities managed to reach the 500%, which in the end it will lead to industry's level faster, but the waiting times also increase, and the waiting times are already very high for 300%, but now for 500, it's for sure better to haul the goods from somewhere else than from the closest factory. And now it's really important to connect at least 2 or 3 factories for the end game, because you get more money from worker boni and also from the licenses, for example. So 20% is a lot, so just make sure to get all these licenses, especially if you have the city good and you know that you will hold this good for the next 10, 20 or 30 hours, then of course you should make sure you get the license.
And you mentioned the licenses. That bonus is even more beneficial now, considering the amount that is now available.
You can be sure that there are more licenses available.
More opportunities, at least. And
especially for passengers, this is interesting in the later eras. So if there were maybe 5 at the same time before, now 10, and then it's easier to really get one. I see these
features, I see these opportunities, and they really do feel like if you play with a small group, you really do have a lot of opportunities available to you in Platform X compared to the classic. And another one of those, especially if you're a new starter, is the bank limit. The bank limit has been increased. So initially on the classic servers, for example, I know when you start, more often than not, you start and I'm reaching your bank limit really quickly.
Yeah, that's one of the changes. I'm quite sure that will be transferred to the other scenarios, because everyone just benefits from it. If you start the game and you buy some engines and don't upgrade your bank 5 or 10 times on the first day, you will reach the bank limit quite fast. So in the first night, you probably reach it. And now this is over now to reach the bank limit, so that you wake up and you still haven't reached the limit, so you can continue playing without any bad feelings.
Yeah, exactly. Do more within the same period of time.
Just wanted to do something different this time. Normally only all the goods that have been in the city before, the stock is brought back to 33% after level up, and only the new good starts with 0 tons, and we decided to just the tons out of the stock when the city levels, so that you start from zero with all the goods, and this is good for the
It's
players.
a new challenge, really.
Yeah, it's a challenge to be online when the city levels, because you can now make a lot of money, and no matter which good you will deliver.
And then the last feature, the amount of prestige that you get for competitions has been increased by 50%.
Yeah, this had a huge impact on the way people played the first round, because I played the first round as well, and for a long time I didn't do that many competitions, and the other players did much more competitions as well. I saw the prestige from competitions in the rankings increased, and also you were never alone. So on a classic server, there are some competitions where maybe you are the only one participating, but this time there were always 5 to 6
I was
other
never on
players.
those classic servers when there's no one competing with me. I was always being out-compete.
So the competitions are really powerful now, and whenever you can, you should part in them.
So this is the overview of the features that you can actually experience in the second round. There is one missing, and that one that was missing was removed because it was very apparent that there was some balancing. We are reducing the amount of servers that we had. This time of the year, there are less players playing, and because we had so many servers for Platform X Titans of Economy Round 1, we found that the player base itself wasn't getting the full experience of what we intended with these features. We decided to give you a better opportunity to fully experience the intended gameplay that these features are offering. And this is why we have reduced the amount of servers from 6 down to 3. If you are on a server that isn't going into round 2, then the gold that you had from that round, you can keep your gold that you got from round 1. You can transfer your gold freely, and you can transfer it to your corresponding region for the regions that are going into round 2, or wherever you want, provided it's following the gold transfer routes. With that in mind, the server starts. The second round will be starting between the 18th and the 20th on those free servers. If you want to join round 2 and experience some of these incredible features, and let us know how you're actually experiencing them, how you're using them, and how they're working for you. And who knows, if you like the features well enough, you may see them on some of our classic realms. That is our Platform X Titans of Economy features. I do hope you have the opportunity to play. Now we get into the fun part, Bruno. I get to introduce you to our wonderful community. How long have you been with the Rail Nation team?
Started being with the Rail Nation team in 2012, so the end of 2012, so this is almost 9 years now, if I'm right. And I started at the company in 2011, so about 10.5 years now.
What are your main responsibilities as a game designer? I mean, what is that for you?
The basic thing is, at the beginning of a new game, of course, is creating the rules, or writing concepts, doing all the math stuff.
In my time that I've been with the company, some of the creative genius that has come out of Bruno, he has a lot of ideas, but some of them you will never see because they're too crazy. But there are some that he has lined up that are so, I can't wait. Like he inspires me to get you guys excited, because some of the stuff that he comes up with is incredible. And yeah, I don't think people tell you that enough, Bruno. Some of your designs and some of your essential genius is very well appreciated by the community. What would you say, like, your proudest thing that you've done, or your proudest achievement?
First, if you have a good idea, that's the first time you're a little bit proud. Then if you do the concept and you think it's good, and other staff members also think it's good, and you present it to the community and they also like it, so then you are a little bit more proud already. But if the feature goes on the PTR server or live, and the best moment is definitely when it's in the game and you can play it and the community likes it.
What are your hopes and dreams, or your what you want and for the future of Rail Nation? Like, what do you envision?
The first thing I really want to do is to bring in these improvements that I want to have all the time, and the community wants to have all the time. But as you know, we had some technical work to do the last year. So for HTML5, now the mobile, they will be finished, and then we can speed up with improving the game again and bringing all these good ideas into the game.
If you could create any game that you wanted, any genre, any style, any theme, what would your dream game be?
A game that combines maybe trains and trucks and planes all in
like
one game.
Complete transport,
Like transport.
Will some or all of these platform exchanges come to Steam over Europe?
If you remember in the first Platform X,
Working Class
Heroes, right? We had this prestige for deliveries to industries, and this is now on all the other scenarios, so on Steam over Europe as well. Which features we will take into the other scenarios depends on the feedback of players.
You want to see go to the normal servers or the classic servers? Which one do you like the most, and which ones are you?
Yeah, I think most of them, but some like the 0% instead of 33.
All of them? You don't have one in particular that you really want?
Yeah.
Like me and my fast trains.
Fast trains, yeah. I'm also a big fan of that from the start. So this is I always wanted to change this. This is, I think it's my favorite change as well. Also the more prestige for the end game win.
Will there be a poll to vote on the new feature?
Yeah, there's a survey at the moment, and all the features can be scored, and depending on the results, we will decide which features we will keep.
What game features do you like most in Steam over Europe? Also, are you playing more in browser or in mobile?
Especially on the weekend, I prefer playing mobile. But if I'm here in the office, I play on browser. Favorite features? Yeah, I would say the region competition.
Will there be an app PTR? Right.
Yes, there's a beta, but you have to, if you do that, you can't play on a live game world at the same time with the same phone at the moment.
They really like a feature where they can plan the schedule ahead of time and change this time automatically when they're offline.
Yeah, that's also an idea we had years ago already. It was very hard to do this feature. Because you have to plan in the future, and it's also built in UX and how you do it. We still have the idea. It's complicated, but yeah, I also would like to have.
Era 6 in the end game. Is there any chance of improving it?
Yeah, this is also one of the changes for Platform X, Titans of Economy, or it was already in the Working Class Heroes, and we didn't talk about it. There's a change that the amount of tons you have to deliver in the end game depends on the city, on the first city in the ranking. So there's no need to slow down in the end. So if you reach level 60 with your city, so all the other cities also have to deliver more. We tried to do some changes in the past, but in the end, if the players move like that,
it's hard.
It's hard, but I still prefer to have a nice competition between 3 or 4 cities than have a boring competition between 10 cities.
We have some stuff that's sat on the shelf there. Would you like to get that down and show everybody?
So yeah, we have even more.
Oh, we have even more. So essentially, the announcement is in the coming weeks, we will be officially releasing our merch store, and soon you'll be able to buy some very interesting and very, very desirable items such as what Bruno is going to show you here. So we have a Rare Nation pin, a legendary pin. We have a wonderful mouse mat, which Bruno is now showcasing. A collectible train, an acrylic train stand. This that we're showing you here is just a small sample of what's going to be available. Make sure that you take some time to join us for Boss on Rosen, the international server, for round 2 of Platform X. I will be hiding, getting upset about losing competition. Bruno will be telling me how to play the game properly.
And I hope to see all of you on the Platform X Titans of Economy servers from the second round.
Yep, from the 18th to the 20th. Okay, see you everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye.